Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here and welcome to another review. And now, after having just seen YouTuber Xyphoe play the Amstrad CPC version of Q10 Tank Buster on his live stream, now, now, I'm, now I'm taking a look at the ZX Spectrum port of it. Q. What? Those are the I'm not having those keys, those stink. Right. So we got a burst of Ralph McTell's Streets of London for some reason. So you play as that. I'm that airplane that's just blown up. Unlike the CPC version, like so many other titles on the Spectrum, this is in monochrome to avoid colour clash issues. And the standard controls, except in order to drop a bomb, you have to press down and fire at the same time. Right, I've got an option plane above my main one, so it's effectively doubled my firepower. Sound effects are a bit sparse, especially considering this is a game that came out in 1991. However, I am going to be a bit more patient about it because this is actually a budget title. It was never released full price. Zeppelin Games released it, and they didn't. As far as I know, they never did full price titles. So I would have absolutely crucified it if it had been I've lost my uppermost option. No, what? Oh. Hit detection's a little off. I don't understand why that thing was behind me when. I suppose it's playable enough, and scrolling's nice and smooth. There's clouds make it hint at parallax scrolling, although it's a little. What? Right. So that's the first boss dealt with. Nice explosions for a budget game, I suppose. And I saw that pilot put his give the thumbs up. And now we're getting a burst of Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world. I guess that makes a bit more sense than Streets of London, but I do wonder whether they actually had whether Zeppelin actually had permission to use those songs. What? That didn't even touch me. Yeah, as I was saying, some of the hit detection in this is questionable. Nice fire down. Not really a fan of the fact they picked. Not really a fan of the fact they picked red as the ink colour for this. Mind you, I suppose black against white would have been a bit of an eyesore. Some of those planes in the ground are a bit hard to see, and I've lost my uppermost option. So you can actually lose your option planes in this if they get hit by anything. I wouldn't say this was a stunning game. Come on, pick up the option. Why didn't that option pick up? I'm even allowing for that. It's a budget title. There's no excuse for that really iffy hit detection. I mean, I clearly got that option and it wouldn't let me pick it up. Kind of makes me laugh that these planes are actually able to just... Nice you get a satisfying explosion. There's nothing worse than defeating a boss and you just get a puff of smoke or something. Oh, crikey. Ah, that's a bit more of a comfortable colour scheme. And I just died again. Oh, crikey. See, that missile clearly hit me and yet I didn't die. Oh, I did that time. Right, let's give that another whirl. Streets of London, yeah. Not exactly the most apt tune in the world. And oh, for goodness sake, some of the bullets are a bit hard to see because of the monochrome. I mean, even though they're clearly different to yours, where yours are black dots, whereas there's a more of a slightly bigger outline version. Even then, when they clash with the graphics in on the ground, they're a bit hard to see. That's why I couldn't avoid what just killed me just then. I mean, I can see the planes and tanks all right for the most part. I'm sure that bullet was supposed to kill me. Not that I'm complaining. I don't mind if something was supposed to hit me and oh, blast. However, one thing that does bother me is that I seem to recall Xyphoe saying that he was a little bit perturbed by the small playing area, and I actually think the playing area in this is even smaller. Oh, for goodness sake. I mean, this is a Spectrum. It can do far... It could have surely coped with a bigger screen size than this. Come on, Zeppelin. I'm sure you could have done better than this. What? What killed me just then? I just blew up for no reason. Go on. One more go, then I'll give my verdict. Ooh. Oh, for God's sake. Again, I got killed by a bullet. I couldn't... Oh, I saw that one, but I still couldn't react to it in time because I couldn't see it quickly enough. I want to think I got as far as I did on that first go. I mean, it moves quickly enough and the scrolling's generally very smooth. But it is let down by the hit detection and being a bit iffy, and some of the bullets and occasionally enemy. Oh, see, that bullet should have just shaved past my plane's nose, and the game thought it hit me. No, I'm not that impressed with this. Even for a budget title, this is pretty poor. Oh, crikey. See, look at all these bullets. How am I meant to avoid all that, especially with this titchy playing area? So that's Q10 Tank Buster by Zeppelin Games for the Spectrum. Now, even though it only cost £3.99 when it was released, from what I can make out, I'm still not convinced. Oh, that's a good enough reason to give it a good score. I mean, while admittedly it would have scored a lot worse than I'm about to give it had it been for a full price title, the score I'm going to give it still isn't going to be particularly endearing. So graphics, well, monochrome. Shut up. I just wanted to silence that music so I didn't have to talk over it. But so graphics. I like the way that the planes sort of tip upwards and downwards as they ascend and descend respectively. I like the touches like that, and those aspects are generally well animated, and everything moves moves at a reasonable frame rate, and the scrolling's pretty smooth. However, the monochrome does occasionally cause moments where you can't see bullets at all, or from the enemies, or can't see them until it's too late, and that is a bit of a cross to bear for the Spectrum, having to have so much of its certain game in monochrome to avoid its color clash issues. I just wish they could have done away with some of those trees. I mean, the rest of the backgrounds don't come up so high, so they're not such a problem. So you can still see bullets before they get too close to you. But when it comes to the trees, those can be a bit of a problem. I mean, on this stage you're seeing in this demo is not so bad because there are fewer trees. But in that first level, there are quite a lot of trees, and they can rather blend in. The bullets can rather blend in a bit too well with them until they get clear. By which point you've got virtually no time to react to them until when you finally get to see them. It's a shame because I mean, if you look at the detail on that big plane just then, it's and even on that cockpit design at the bottom of the screen there, those are really well drawn, and the shading's really nice. So sound effects. Little bit patchy, really. I've heard better even on the Spectrum, and those are clearly 48K style sound effects. No, I've heard a 48K Spectrum do better than that. So I'm not that impressed with the sound. I mean, the best sound is the satisfying explosion when you defeat an end of level boss. But apart from that, it's all a bit twee and lacks punch. Gameplay, pretty run of the mill. Pressing down and fire to bomb gets a little bit fiddly at times, and it's not helped by the fact that the playing area is not exactly the largest in the world. I wish it could have been a bit wider, or so you had a bit better view and a better chance of being able to avoid it when there's a whole barrage of bullets. But as far as I know, I didn't see any slowdown in what I've just experienced, so that's something. But apart from that, it's not that impressive, really. So I think I'm going to give Q10 Tank Buster on the Spectrum 4 out of 10. No, I wasn't massively impressed with that. It's just a bit dull. It's one of those games you'll probably have a bit of a blast with a couple of times, and then it'll just barely get touched again for ages, if ever. So bit of a shame, really. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that review. Catch you on another one soon. Texie88 out.